Welcome back, fellow painters and decorators, sprayers, new sprayers, old sprayers, garden sprayers. It's Phil Beckwith, the professional painter and decorator, back with the riveting. I say riveting because you know what I'm like for riveting stuff. Riveting video on setting up my new Graco 495 ST Max 2 PC all singing all dancing sprayer. Here it is. It's got the blue link on it. I showed you a unboxing video a couple of weeks ago, all wrapped up in Christmas paper. Well, it's Christmas time, bit bored, not much on telly. I thought, yeah, let's get the sprayer out, let's have a look at it, let's take it to bits, you know, not literally, take it to bits, have a look what it's like, and let's assemble it, because you might also have purchased a similar spray setup from the Sprayman UK. There's no endorsement, no plug-in or anything, it's just where I got it from. Painting and decorating show, great show to go to in Coventry in the UK, back end of the year, November. Good deal to be had, so I got it from Sprayman. Other suppliers are available, also doing cracking deals, so it's not just one supplier, Sprayman, there's other people doing these Graco deals. But the beauty of this is it's the deal package that's got the fine finish hopper kit with it. The hopper kit being like that, which is very similar to my, you know, I say my workhorse, the GX FF that I got. It's got a hopper on it, but this is only a smallish pump, so I needed a bit of an upgrade. That's still working, but I wanted a bit stronger pump, give me a bit more power when I need it, because the GX FF does limit itself with spray tips how big it can go. So I thought, we're going for this, let me just strip it down, let me put it together, because you might be new, you've probably not touched a sprayer before, or you might have touched a sprayer before and you want to see how I'm assembling it. So what better than Phil Beckwith, the professional painter and decorator who does a bit of spraying, showing you how to do it. See you in about 15 seconds. I need to go and get a drink. Watch the intro. Thank you. Back with you. I like my new intros. Cost me a fortune. Cost me a fortune. Anyway, back with you. Got the sprayer out. I've got it on Doris the Door. Doris the Door is going to make quite a few appearances when I'm working in my studio. I feel like Tony Hart working in a studio. Can you remember Tony Hart? Morph was on it as well. Morph, that little cartoon. What was it? Made of plasticine. Anyway, let's get back to this. I'm going to zoom you in. Let me show you what I've got. Let me show you what I've got. It's just here. Tell you what, I'm going to take you off the stand. Might be even easier. Got to get into this filming. So I've got to get into this filming. Right, I'm going to flip you over. Let's talk through what we've got. Right. Here's the bad boy. As you can see, it's the STE Max 495 PC Pro. PC standing for, is it Pro Connect? Not personal computer. So it's a nice bit of kit. I'll say it's expensive, everything's relative. GXFF, what do they retail? About £800. Stick another 1,000 on that and you've got this bit of kit. But let's see if I can focus you. Yeah, I've got you back on. Right, so here we are, we've got the kit there. What I purchased was this kit with the fine finish. It came with all the various hoses and some extras that I added to the order. A few more spray tips, fine finish spray tips, whip hose. Told you about whip hose when I opened the box. Asked for another filter and the smaller 7.5 meter hose, which is brilliant, very similar to the GXFF. That comes with this fine finish kit. So let's talk you through what I'm going to do. If I can do it one-handed I will do, because I've pre-loosened some of these nuts and bolts and whatever you want to call it, and I'll show you how it assembles. Obviously it's self-explanatory if you know what you're doing and you can read instructions. There's a instruction sheet there, so it's not difficult, but I'm just going to show you what I'm going to do, and if it can be of help to some people, brilliant. First things first. Oh, I've got a Belisha beacons flashing light, hold on. I've got rid of that, that's right. Right, first things first, this is the suction hose that comes all the way down to this. What I'm going to do now is just going to remove that. I've already pre-loosened that. In the kit you do get some tools. You get one of these. You can use that, open it up to ease that off. I've already done that with my spanner. Call it a spanner, don't you? Spanner. I've already done that. So let's loosen that off, and then that eases itself out. Now if I can do that on Doris the door freehand, one-handed, let's see if I can do. Yeah, it's come out. So let's move that away. Move that away over there. Now inside there, I've already had a look. There's a like a flange washer. Make sure that doesn't get lost. Just wipe my hands. I've got grease, got some oil on it. So that's come off. The next one you need to remove is this, which is your prime bleed pipe. Now the idea of this is when you flush, however you want to call it, flush bleed, prime your unit, the paint goes out of that, takes the pressure out of your main hose. That's this spray. Let's clean that, and this purges the paint back into your tub or wherever you want it to go, and then you can just flip it back. This spray, that'll be prime, as in straight out there. When you come to spray, once you've got your pressure needle moving, bang it across. You see your pressure gauge go up to where your pressure is that you need, and then away you go. So enough about that. That's talking about basic spraying. So this I've pre-loosened, and I can do it with my fingers now. I'm going to take that off. I've got to be careful, I'm going to drop it. Now with this being a new bit of kit, there's a lot of packing oil around everything. That's why I've just got a cloth. So I'm going to take that away. So we're all stripped down at the moment. Got nothing on it. In the kit you get from Sprayman or anybody else is going to sell it you, you've got two connectors. Now that isn't big enough. You see, goes under there. You see that goes under there. That's not big enough for that, so we do away with that. We take that cap off there, and this goes in there. Now I've probably said on previous videos, I'm a big believer in anything that's a thread going into a machine. I just like to put a bit of Vaseline or petroleum jelly, not a lot, just put it on the threads. You see what I'm doing, just putting it on the threads. Oh, it's good one-handed, putting it on the threads. It's just so if that's in for any length of period of time, when I come to take it out, it makes it a lot easier to remove. It doesn't get stuck. So if you can see that, I'm just easily attaching it. I don't want to cross thread it. I think I've got it. That's in. Screwing it in there. Get it as tight as I can. I'm just going to nip it up. Right. Nip it up. Not overly tight. I don't want to thread it. That's tight. That's not going to move. Now the purpose of the Vaseline is, if that's in for any length of time, that looks like brass against a cast metal. You're not going to get dissimilar metal corrosion or anything like that, but it will come off easier. That by the by. Right, what do we connect on that? The same principle as your prime bleed pipe is on your hopper, which is, this is the hopper. So I'm going to just take that out there. That's there. So that is equivalent to that. The only difference is this would prime back into your tub of paint, whereas this will prime back into your hopper. Now if I can do this, I will do. That slides onto there. I'm going to struggle. I'm going to put you on the stand. I'll be back in a second. Right, I'm back. I think you can hear me. I've got two hands now. Now this will connect on there. Now hopefully this will make a good seal. I could rub a little bit of Vaseline on it. I don't think I need. We'll just push it straight on. We're getting it. It's coming. That's pretty tight. So let's get it on as far as we can. Oh, I didn't have my cornflakes this morning. Or my Weetabix. Cock it on the side so if we get a bit more leverage. I don't want to. It's going up. It's tight as nun's knickers. Oh, shouldn't have said that. Should I have said that? Tight as nun's knickers. As tight as my mate Dave at the bar, that's what I'll say. Blowing on it to warm it up just to soften it. Well, anyway, I think I'm nearly there. I nearly got it. Can I get it on a bit more? Again, talk amongst yourselves. That's tight. I think that's it. Can I? Sorry about that. That's tight. That's not going to go anywhere. I think I'm happy enough with that for now. It'll probably go on a little bit more, but I probably ought to have a hairdryer on it just to help it get on. Can't get it on anymore. Right, that's there. That's all loose. Now what we need to do, can we swivel it so you can see me there? We want to connect this onto there. This is the same principle as the big pipe we took off, which was the suction hose. Right, just bring that back into play. This was the suction hose. It's got the rock guard. Got the rock guard there. We're taking that off. Now we want to get this under here. Now again, I'm going to put a little bit of petroleum jelly Vaseline just on those threads around there, because this is something that will be probably coming off and on quite often. Now if I can carefully position that, slide it up. Yeah, it's tight but it goes. There you go, it's gone in. Now the position I need that is in front of itself, so you can see that. I'll move that out of the way. It's in front of itself. Got that in. There's an O-ring there coming up. I'm going to make sure that that's in place. That'll sit against the bottom of there. Now I'm going to go on. Try and get that over that. Can't do it. I think I need to put it in a bit further. Said the vicar to the nun. There you go, it's gone. Yeah, right. So that little O-ring's still in there, and I'm bringing it up. I'm going to do this finger tight, and then I'm just going to get some pliers, spanners. Don't cross thread it. You see what I'm doing, tightening it up. Bring that into play there. Right, you probably find you can do this hand tight, but I'm going to just nip it up. I'll just use these for quickness. Just make sure it's... You see I'm just tightening it. Not going too far. You'll know if it's tight enough, because if it leaks on you, that's fine, it's tight enough. Next job, dead easy one. Again, put a little bit of Vaseline just on the thread there, not a lot, because it's not going to be mixing with the paint, it's just going to keep those threads lubricated enough to make it easier to undo these. So there's a fin there that slides into the groove just there, so you know that you're right with that. Now you tighten this, lefty loosey, righty tighty. So coming on, I can feel that, I've got the thread there. Yeah, it's riveting video in this, isn't it? It's hitting me. Right, are we on? Yeah. Get that's on. Yeah. So get the idea. And this clips onto the side, just like that. Right, that's tight, but it is swivelling, so that's good. We're all good. That hose looks a bit long. I think you could probably, I'm not sure, alright, you could probably trim that hose down so it's not so long. No, that's by the by. Right, we've got the hopper on, connected it up. Next thing to do is a rock guard that goes into the bottom of there, and then a protection lid to stop any dust going in. So let's get you off the camera. Get you off the camera, and there we are. We've connected it up there, there. I think we might be able to trim that down. Not too sure, I should think so. And then the rock guard's gone in there. So that's it, we've connected it up. What do you think of that? ST Max 2 all connected up with the fine finish hopper kit. Next thing to do is connect the gun to the hose that I want to use, and the hose that I want to use is this 7.5, not the 15 metre. So the gun connects to it. This is the PC, this Pro Connect contractor gun. Lovely gun. That's a 2-finger. You can alter it to make it a 4-finger or a 3-finger. But I'll get you on the tripod again and I'll show you what we're doing. Right. Job's a good one. Right. Dead simple. Get your hose. Got some little protection caps on it. Take those off. Just unscrew. Yeah. Again, what am I going to do? Bit of Vaseline. Bit of Vaseline in the end of the thread there. It goes onto that. Rub it round. This connects onto there. Make sure you don't cross thread it. That's on. Snip it up. Yeah, it's nice and tight. Not over tight, but tight enough. Next, the other end. Well, I've got two options here. I think we'll try option 2. Option 2 is connect it to a whip hose. Now, I would say I probably don't really need a whip hose with the thinner gauged 7.5, but the principle's the same. On the thicker one, when it's under pressure, when you're spraying at 1500, 2000 and more PSI, the thicker hose goes really thick, quite hard to move about, it's quite frustrating. You've got the whip hose on the end, with that being such a small, look at that diameter of that, the size of that's tiny. That gives you a little bit more flexibility with the gun. I'm going to put that on this 7.5 so you can see what I'm doing. So again, take these caps off. Can't get it off. So cold, can't get it off. Just unscrew it. That's it, got it moving. Just unscrew it off. Again, these two, you've got a male and a female. I'm just going to put a little bit of Vaseline around the end. So when that male goes into the female, it pushes it in. So here we go. You see that? We're connecting up. Now this is where you will need 2 sets of spanners. Adjust it to the size. Just nip it up tight. Yeah, we've got that one. So we've got a 7.5 metre hose dropping down to the smaller, what's that, about a metre and a half whip hose. Let's get that off. It's really tight because it's cold. It's Christmas time, it's cold. I'll stop the video so I can do it properly without you looking at me. Nothing worse than being watched. 5 minutes later I'm back with you. 5 minutes later. Not quite. Right, this connects to the bottom of the gun. Again, we've got male and a female. I'm just going to put a little bit of Vaseline just across the end there, so when the threads of the gun go into there, it's like that. Don't need loads, When the threads of the gun go into there, it takes it with it, keeps them lubed up. Right, I'm going to need that to nip it up. Hold that. And then we just, yeah, we're tight. Now they need to be tight because they're obviously going to have a couple of thousand PSI going through them, so you don't want any of these threads leaking with air. Right, we're done with that. Where's my cloth finger? We're all set to go. There's only a couple of things that we need to talk about now, so bored you long enough for, what do I do, 20-minute videos. 20 minutes. What we need to do now is talk about the guard spray tips. Right, the guard is on. That only needs to be finger tight because you need to be able to swivel it one way then the other, tighten it up. Telling grandmother how to suck eggs, Emma, but if the arrow of the tip's facing forward, it's going to spray. If it's turned across itself, it's in a locked position that nothing's going to come out. If we turn it opposite way, there, that's not going to spray out, that's going to do your unblocking if you've got a blocked spray tip. So that's if you're flushing out, cleaning it, that's locked position so nothing can come out if you're just leaving it for a period of time. Then you've got spray position. Now beauty with these Gracos, I've not used my Graco for a while, actual gun, because I've used Tri-Tape. It's shaped, so it's got like a square shape to it, you see that? And it matches there. So that goes in only in one position, then locks into place. Off. That's in your lock position, it won't come out, but you could pull it out that way. All the way up for spraying. Right, let's just take that off so it makes it easier for me. I'll show you something else. You're going to ask, where's the spray mesh for the gun. Right, with the trigger back, release that guard protector, squeeze it down and it comes loose. Move it out of the way, put the lock position, move that way, put the lock position back on the gun, which different guns are in different positions, sometimes up there. This just drops down, that stops you pressing it. Now you need to get into there because that's where your filter is. And your filter, it's like one of these. Now different meshes, different sizes. If it's a wider mesh, lets bigger paint through like your thicker emulsions. If you go down to the smaller meshes, that's your finishing trim paints, woodwork paints. I say trim because there's all these American people watching my YouTube channel. You know what trim is. Trim to me is on a car. So finer mesh, more delicate paint. Just back with you. So we're talking about the meshes. There's a mesh in there. Blue meshes, obviously a fine one. Used with spray tips of 206, 306, 308, 210s, 310s. Anything under about 11.11 of your spray tip. Anything above goes to the next one up. Anything over a 15, 16 go to the bigger one, which I think's black. Dropping it. So undo this gun. You put it on the lock position so you're not going to squirt yourself if there is anything there. Don't forget, if you're ever doing this, turn your unit to prime. If it's been on spray down at the bottom, turn it to prime. That will release all your pressure in your pipe. Then turn the machine off at the back. So we're on prime, we turned off. Right, I'm going to unscrew this now. It's not hard to unscrew, it's not really tight because it just lines up with itself. You turn it all the way around. You see why I've taken the guard off, because it just makes it easier to handle. And there is your filter. So take that out and you can swap it depending on what spray tip you're using. Now I'll swap back because this spray tip in here is a low pressure and it's a 517, so you can spray emulsions, do your walls, ceilings with that one. The ideal spray filter in your gun for that is a black one, not a blue, finer. This will be for when I'm spraying, I'm going to say 210, 310, because I'll spray with a 0.10. That would be for that sort of spraying. I'm going to take it out so I don't forget. Put this one back in, slide straight in, and again, because we're setting it up for the first time, Phil Beckwith is putting some Vaseline just around the threads. Not loads, just so it makes it easier to this to come off and on. And then we just swivel it round. Once you get into the position of it matching up, so can you see? We've tightened it. There you go, it lines up lovely. Lines up lovely, that's matching. Right, next thing to do, release your trigger guard, because you need to squeeze that back in. Then the hand finger guard is going back into place there. Once you've done that, you can release that, put your trigger guard on so you're not going to damage anything, squirt anybody. That can go back on there. So we're all good to go. Just a little bit of a tip, if you have got other spray tips, other brands, as long as you've got the matching guard, like a Tritech, I've got Tritech guard. Tritech guard will fit on there, and then I could use all the Tritech tips I've got. So don't be in fear of not using your tips you've got if you've got the guard. Some tips, I think, is it Titan and Wagner, are interchangeable with their guards. Or give us some comments on that, I'm not too sure. I've got a Titan gun, but I haven't got any Wagner. Robert Wagner. Oof. You can interchange as long as you've got the guard, so let's get to that. So that's there. I'll tell you what else you can put on that, because you're going to say, have you got one? Yeah, I've got one. Got my box of tricks down here. You know what this is? This is the best £110 you'll spend. And you say, what is it? Well, it's your Cleanshot. If you've got extension bars, I've got one. I'm just having a look in the box of tricks. I've not got one handy. If you've got an extension bar, 12 inches, whatever they are. Got some short ones, got these from Ian at Spray Tech, so he sells stuff as well. Got some little shorter spray bar extensions. Because you've got your extension on, you get that extra bit of pressure, you get spits coming out you end of your gun. If you've got one of these on, just take that off, Vaseline everything, put that back on there. All of a sudden you've got a spray. I was going to say, you put it on without extension. Yeah, I know. That then goes on there. And you've got a gun. I'm not going to tighten it all the way. Oh, I will do. Just tighten that all the way. Let's get it right. You've got a spray gun now with this. Oh, let's not tighten it. Right. Tighten it so you can get it. Right. Look at this. Swivel end. Look at that. Different angles. Which is ideal if you're spraying kitchen cabinets. Even doors, sometimes you don't want an extension on, but just angling it in a certain position makes it easy if you're spraying, getting up and down, not bobbing up like a cork on the sea. So you can, let's tighten that. If you're spraying like that or spraying like that, that's all due to having that clean shot on. Now if you have got an extension bar on, I could talk about this in another video, I'll touch it on it now. Depending on your pressure, depends whether anything will come out. So if you find you're not getting anything coming out of this, you've got to tweak, see it goes in. The more it's in, the less likely it is to spit. But you might find your pressure's not right for the position of where I'm twisting it to. If we're flushing it out and cleaning, it'll be in that position all the way out. Paint will go through there. But all of a sudden, I might turn it, try my gun trigger, and all of a sudden, nothing comes out, and it's because the pressure's probably too high and it's not wanting to do it. So you have to just knock it back a bit, get the paint flow going, and just tweak it. It is touch and go, not everybody can get on with it, but once you know what you're doing, brilliant. And I would say have a set of these with you when you're doing it, because when that goes tight, because of the pressure in it, release the pressure on your primer just there and use a set of these, a bit more leverage to turn it, but that's for another day. Right, let's get back to this lovely spray machine I've got. Right, so we're alright with that. I know this is going to be a long one. We're in for the night. You weren't watching the Queen's speech or anything, were you? Right, take that off. So we're all good to go with the gun. You've got the whip hose, got the unit set up. Let's put that back on there. Tell you what, that is ever so light. With that whip hose, that is lovely. I can't wait to use that. I think, shall we get a bit of a demo video going this week? Could do. Right, so that's back on there. Let's move that out of the way. One last thing I want to talk about, or two last things I want to talk about. In there, I'll get you focusing on that. In there is another spray mesh. That comes out dead easy. Right. We're full of oil up. This needs to be flushed out before I clean it. We'll flush it out with some water, put a bit of very liquid soap in it, then flush it with water again. There's a mesh there. That slides off there. A bit of pressure, it's not. Slides all the way off. And you can swap that. Now that's quite an open one. That matches the black one in the gun. Now I'm thinking, correct me if I'm wrong, I might keep with that, because that's going to let quite a bit of paint through. It's not going to. It's going to stop a bit of bits and pieces. I don't want to pour a really fine one in, because that could block quicker than I really want. That's 100 mesh, by the way. Sorry, it's 100. I think the black's 60. I'm thinking, do you do this? Because I do it on the other ones. Keep a bigger mesh in the actual unit, then a finer mesh actually in the gun. And if it blocks on me too often, normally restraining the paint, I'm alright. If you suddenly find it's blocking up too much on your gun, it might be worth, it might actually be worth you swapping it to a finer one in there. But see how you go. I'm thinking I might be able to get away with a black one in there, and when I'm doing woodwork trim painting with a 210, 310, whatever, I could put that blue one in it. See, you get me on focus, yeah. Might put a blue one in it. that'll be trial and error for me. So whether I go for a blue one in there with a blue one, we'll see. Or keep with the black one, blue one in the gun, and then it's just only having to swap one. I'm trial and error, I'll see. Right, last thing, because we're going to wind it up now. This machine is Blue Link. So you turn it on, you press that. I've put the app on my phone. I've registered. I'll see if I can get you up on here. Allow, it's all on there. You've got to allow it. Wants to know your location, set location, blah de blah. Register on your phone, and then you link your phone app for the Blue Link to this, and this will your phone talks to the machine, and the machine talks to your phone, telling you how much paint you spray, where the location is, and blah de blah de blah de blah de blah. It's, we'll see. At the minute, I can't plug it in. Need a transformer. I'll have to get a transformer. So when we've got a transformer available, we'll do that as another video. Just connecting it and trying it out. But sorry, this has probably been longer than 10-15 minutes. Are we on an hour? Bet we're not on an hour. Another thing I mentioned, this font of all knowledge, don't forget you've got your throat seal, which is your bit of an oil that comes with the kit. It needs to go in there. Now look in the instruction book if you're a bit unsure how you get it in. Now if I took this off, look how easy that comes off because I've got a bit of Vaseline on it. Take that off, put it to the side. In there where the piston pump is, don't forget this is one of these dual action, they call it a dual action piston. It pumps as it goes up, whereas the other one's always pumping on the way down. It's so this has got twice as much. It's like Thomas the Tank Engine. Right, this throat seal, put it in there every day before use. Just put a few spots in just to lube the piston. Just keep the piston going. Or else that's when you get problems. Just basic maintenance. So that comes in the kit as well. So in the kit you've got your spanners, you've got your tools. There should be everything there that you need to tighten all these up. Even there, you've got it all there. So brilliant. On to the next bit. Bye. But any questions, give us some comments, press that bell, like, subscribe, all of that. I'm not too worried. I'm just trying to do an informational video to people. I'm not trying to sell you anything. I'm here to help. So all I'm here to do is help. As I said in a previous video, I used to do teaching at college. I think this now is my forte of medium of talking to people on social media. If you've got any questions, obviously I know everything about everything, don't I? I know most things. If you don't know, you can ask somebody that does. There's plenty of experience on our firm with people who know all about painting and decorating. Got over 30 odd years, 130 odd years of experience on the firm at the moment. So yeah, if you've got any questions, just ask. I do it a bit tongue-in-cheek for some things, so I'm hoping making it a bit enjoyable for you. It's long-winded, I don't know, but this is a great bit of kit. I'm looking forward to using it, and I think while I'm off I'm going to have a bit of a practice on Doris the Door, and let's try that Bluetooth Blue Link on it as well. But hope I've explained it enough to you that you could do it yourself if you saw it, and let's see you on the next one. Have a good Christmas, have a good Easter, have a good summer holiday depending on when you're watching this. Over and out. Thanks for listening. Bye bye.